Everybody, welcome to the show. You know where you are, the 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And if you're sitting there right now, you already know Audra's coming and she's going to talk about something amazing. So you're thinking, Tigo, what's she bringing to the table today? Leadership. Yeah, you don't want to miss this one. Sit right there. We'll be right back. You heard me right. Audra's here. We're going to talk about leadership. I consider myself a leader. People tell me I'm a leader. Leadership, what does that mean in business? Audra, what does leadership mean in business?
It is the aligning of people through influence and inspiration to execute a plan or reach a goal.
Wow. Okay. Well, that was a great interview. I'll talk to you next time. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It sounds so simple, but it's not.
It sounds so simple. So let's go through a couple of the onion layers here. When somebody is watching this right now and they're going, I have a business. I don't necessarily consider myself a leader, So what does that mean for me?
So if you have a business and let's say you're the owner of said business, then you are a leader because first and foremost, you hold the vision. You are the inspiration and you are the person that is inspiring and influencing others to move in a specific direction, right? In to execute a plan, and there is a difference between leaders and managers. We all know this, right?
Yes.
So managers tell you what to do and what you're doing wrong. Leaders encourage, inspire, and teach more than anything else. So there's a couple of qualities that are pretty important in leadership because it's such a fuzzy word that nobody really defines it. But let's talk first about effective communication. Leaders need to be able to communicate with their teams, whether it's what they need them to do through delegation or what is the vision and what is this business here to do? What is the impact that we're trying to make on our customers and our community? And let's wrap that back into the first two episodes, which are about legacy and strategy. Right. So legacy creates the vision, which then influences the strategy, which is then executed by the leadership team. So all three of these things work together to make an impact, to do business, to make a revenue, to hire people, to be philanthropic and give back, whatever it is. But leadership is the boots on the ground portion of that legacy. It's also the kind of right brain to strategy's left brain, whereas legacy is the whole brain. So if I'm going too far with that, feel free to reach out and I'll explain. But leadership
say that again.
Is the touch point.
That's
it is
amazing.
The action of that strategy. And it incorporates strategic thinking. So the leaders have to make decisions about resources and people and things that complement that strategic plan. But it's also empathy and fairness and influence, which is a complicated socio-psychological thing. And it's
we need to come and camp out with you for a day to get that one.
Yeah, we can have a whole podcast on influence. But it's also knowing your team, because you're delegating to people. You want to make sure that you're delegating the tasks that people like, that they're good at, that they've got a skill set for. So it's building a team to execute that strategy and then leading them along the path to get it done.
So do me a favor, say the right brain, left brain, full brain again, because that really hit me and I think it's probably hitting somebody else. And just give us a little bit more on that.
Okay. So we talk a lot about left brain, right brain. So right brain is generally our creative, our empathetic, our emotional side of our brain. The left brain is generally our logic and analytics and planning side of the brain. So if you think of your legacy as the impact that a business has, we can break that into two sections, which is the soft, creative, emotional side, which is leadership primarily, and then strategy is the left, logical, planning side. So we put both of those two things together because humans need to be touched in both ways, and that's weird, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I know what you mean. So
So
do they.
when we create legacy, we're creating it through human interaction, whether it's how we make people feel as a business, the experience that our customers have, are both a strategy because it needs to be a process of how our customers come through our business, but it also has
Right,
to include those touch points, those human interactions, which are done on a person to person basis, right? Because it's the counter person that checks you out, that makes you feel good when you've done business with us. But it's also what that person says and how that process works. So both of these things together, left, right, are the legacy.
that's amazing. Now, this is what popped in my head is you said something about, some people are managers. So true. Sometimes managers open businesses and there doesn't seem to be a leader there. It always feels like there's somebody else, like the wizard and the Wizard of Oz. There's somebody behind the curtain running everything, and there's nobody there. It doesn't mean that people that are managers can't open a business, but how important is it to find that leadership within them, and how do they find it? Do they call someone like you and say, "Help! I'm a manager. I don't know what I'm doing, but I open a business." How do they get into the leadership role?
Sometimes it's by choice, sometimes it's by force. And by that,
Hmm.
I mean, if you are constantly in a manager role and you're not building your team up, then your team will eventually decide that this isn't a place that I want to be in. This isn't a culture that I can grow. And so you might recognize that you're having a lot of turnover because your team isn't being supported the way that they need to be supported in an
Hmm.
effort to grow. And so then
Hmm.
you come to the realization either this is a me problem and I need to change, or I need to hire somebody that has the skills to be able to do that. And so that's either they hire me as a coach to teach them, or you can hire very amazing leaders that can act as the go between, right? So you have you as the visionary, and you have an implementer, which has the soft skills that you need in the business. Um, Oftentimes, you recognize this by force. You have people that leave and they're like, you're not a very nice person, or I don't feel like being micromanaged, or I'm not being communicated with effectively enough that I understand where this business is supposed to be going. So I feel like I'm lost. And so you evolve. People only change because generally they have to.
And I
And that's
truly believe if you need help, if you're confused, if you're not sure if you need help, if you're not sure if you need help, usually it means you need help. So if you want to reach out to someone, reach out to Audra. So how do they reach out to you? What do they tell you?
it comes sometimes it's not that they recognize it comes, I've got these problems in the business, I can't seem to keep team members, or I can't seem to hire the team member types that I need, or I'm hiring everybody that's just like me and we're all in this problem together. So they'll come for ancillary issues, and we'll identify sometimes that you've got a leadership problem, or you've got a
Hmm.
communication problem, which is
Hmm.
fundamentally a trust problem. Communication breaks down because people aren't talking because they don't trust the other people enough to share, or that it's welcome. So they'll come to me for other things, and then we'll identify that this is in actuality a leadership problem, and we should work on this. And
I'm
how can they
I'm
find
going to
me?
go back for a second. Hold on, because we're about to get
Yeah,
cut off. Because Alan's got the lightning clock over there.
he
But you
does.
just said it's a trust problem. Can you go back just a second and spend a minute on that? Because I don't think people realize that. Oh, I trust you completely. but you won't listen to a ding dang thing we're saying. So
Yeah.
can you talk
Yeah.
about that for just a second?
Absolutely. Yeah. Breakdown in communication within businesses is because of a lack of trust foundationally, because you're not going to share or you're not going to speak up if you don't feel like that you're in a safe zone, right? And leaders aren't going to share vision if they're afraid that their team isn't going to take it or be able to follow through on it or understand or whatever. And so then you have these two people that are in their own orbits and they're not communicating because fundamentally they don't trust that it's going to be taken or received or heard or whatever. And once you figure that out, then communication flows.
Wow. How do people find you?
I have audrafournier.com. You can find my website. My business is called Partners for a Solution. It's on the bottom of the screen there, so you can Google that. I'm on Instagram at audrafournier. At Audra Fournier, or I'm on Facebook also. You can also email me, Audra at partnersforasolution.com. I'm always here to help and happy to share.
Wow. Okay. I got to thank you. Just that nugget on trust was, just explosive to me. And I hope people heard that. Thank you so much. I hope you come back again. You are the best.
Thank you so much. It's been so much fun.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, everybody, go back and watch all three, not 4, because she had an introductory interview not too long ago. So go back and watch all 4 interviews because they kind of lock in together. And if you take nothing out of this, that nugget about trust is huge. It's absolutely huge. Go back and watch it or listen to it again, I hope. And I hope you enjoyed this episode as always. I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time. That was fun.